goods, Nuan Halcyon. Hijrata Sukkan, Al-Hadiyat, Al-Zakariyat, Al-Faddin, Al-Nasiyah.
Honorable judges, good evening. I'm Halcyon from Halcyon. And right now, I think you are quite baffled, right? My friend Moinul was actually greeting you good evening and speaking about the problem at hand, which is the migration problem in Arabic. What you faced during the last few seconds is one of the many problems that the migrant workers face while in abroad. They face language barriers, cultural shock, and lack of proficiency in abroad due to lack of proper preparation before they go to abroad. Now, remittance is an integral part of our economy, but it is still not being well organized such that migration is kept safe from hazard. Now let us take a look at some government initiatives towards better migration management. There are digitization in migration management, establishment of expatriates welfare bank, initiatives and incentives for smooth transfer of remittance, efforts to reduce migration costs, initiatives to explore new markets, and promotion of skill development trainings. Now, there is still the question, then why migrants are suffering? It all comes down to the point of lack of distribution of information. The demographic that we are working with is mostly, not entirely though, live in rural areas. So there is always a communication gap between the government initiatives and the potential and present migrant workers. From this slide, we can see that of about 100 potential migrant workers, 4 go through government-approved recruiting agencies, and others go to money-grabbing middlemen, and they suffer a lot. And as a result, we see frequent news of woes of migrant workers in abroad. Now, let's take a look at our stakeholders. There are government ministries and departments, recruiting agencies, civil society, local government representatives, and development partners. Now, these are governed by the Ministry of Expatriates, Welfare and Overseas Employment, Bureau of Manpower Employment and Training, BMPT, which has district employment and manpower offices in 42 districts, 38 technical training centers, and there are also provincial banks and embassies and high commissions to ensure migrant safety abroad and about the safety of the potential migrants in the country, governed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, let's move on to our target group, which are the migrant workers. They are males and females, aged between 20 to 40, and belonging to the socio-economic class C to D. The migrant workers are majorly from some distinct zones around the country. The zones are actually, here you can see the segmentation. The zones are actually Chittagong, Kumilla, Dhaka, Brahmanbaria, Tangai, and Noakhali. Now, as I've said before, the segmentation profile are female and male of age 20 to 40. Now, the factors contributing to migration. They are willing to attain financial stability, they are low income and savings, poor economic conditions, unemployed, they are unemployed at home, and the hope of higher income leads them towards migration. Now, at this point, we have come to a conclusion that there is a missing link between the government initiatives and the potential migrant workers and the present migrant workers. So we have come up with a campaign which is Proverbs, and our tagline is to reduce the communication gap between the government and the migrant workers. Now I'm handing over the presentation to my teammate, Moinul Islam.
So this is a campaign strategy, and I'm going to talk about the stellar campaigns. To convey our message to the right people, we first need to reach them at the right places. And as such, it's our grave importance that we identify the touch points. We believe that tea stalls and cinema halls are kind of the ideal recreational places for the demographic we are talking about right now. And again, bazaars or some kind of bazaar or hotels can also be a social gathering place where the demographic could be found. To address or to reach the people who are already going through the migration process, we believe that we have to put information booths on airports, passport offices and technical training centers, from where we'll be able to we will be able to distribute the information about our campaigns and also acquire knowledge and information about the aspiring migrants. Through posters and leaflets, we will be able to convey our messages to the demographic, and we will also, the message of all the posters and leaflets will be to emphasize on gathering information before jumping to the process of migration. We will also try to motivate our women folks to get involved in this migration process and hence enhance the amount of remittance we earn every year. To reach the target people, or to reach the target people of the aspiring migrants, we believe that we need to publish a hotline. With the hotline, we include all the information about the migration process. We want to make this number 1971, the number of freedom for the aspiring migrants from the clutches of the rogue intermediaries. Smart messaging system is one of our new initiatives for the target people who are already going through the process of migration. From the information acquired from the passport offices, on airports, on technical centers, we will be able to gather the information about the aspiring migrants, and those informations will help us to send automated messages to those people to make them aware of the processes they have to face in the future, or the processes they have already finished, the confirmation of those messages, and this will ensure a transparency in the whole system. We will also include some audio messages from famous celebrities to motivate all the aspiring migrants so they can put themselves more in this matter. Thank you, and I will call upon my next team.
Thank you. Now we need to spread the message among the children of our country. So we'll be including the curriculum and the syllabus in the books of the schools, so that the children can know about it and instill information among them. So that when the children will grow up and they will choose to pursue this career, and they will know that from where they have to start. Next, we know that we'll be involving the influential people of the community. Now we know that the imams they hold very significant roles in the community. So we'll be seeking their help so that they can distribute the different aspects and different information about migration among the people. Now campaigning in school, colleges, and especially technical schools and colleges is very important, because the students in these institutes they are about to get into the job field. So they arranging workshop on there will make sure that they know the availability of the information. Now we'll be arranging Diksha procession to create a buzz, so that the people around them know about the campaign, and we'll be providing all the Diksha pullers the same t-shirt so that the people can know about the upcoming projects and upcoming events of our campaigns. We will be setting up booths and kiosks in passport offices, in airports, and in the technical institutes. Now we know that DTT has already issued smart cards, and the smart cards will be accessed and the migrant workers will be given the further information about them, and their relatives can also access them so that they know about their relatives' position.
So let's take a look at one of our main programs, which is Ohimashan. This is going to be an yearly event which will take place in the Upazila levels. And during the first years, for prioritization, we will make this happen in migrant hotspots Upazilas. So what will happen and who are our partners in this case? The main role player will be local government, and alongside with them we will have RAMRU, which is Refugee Migrant Movement Unit, Research Movement Unit. They have a program at MREPC, Migrant Protection Right Committee, which is a committee formed within the community to make ensure the safety of the migrant population. So what will be the events? One of the main events will be that there will be returning migrant ambassador who will share their experience, their difficulties, and their success stories. There will be cultural events. Now, the cultural events will be specialized in particular locality. For instance, in some locality, Jatra dance, or in some localities folk songs. And through these cultural events, we will endorse the migration process, the pre-departure process, and the post-departure process, and how to take proper preparations. And also there will be kind of a job fair. That is, the recruiting agencies will get a chance to interact with the aspirant migrants, and also there will be booths of Probasi Kalyan banks and other microfinancing institutes which provide loan schemes to our migrants population.
Now we'll be arranging radio shows and dramas which will feature migrants. They will be interacting with the aspirant migrants to share their life story and experiences while they were in abroad. Now we know that radio is a key thing to reach those people, and I think and we think that this will attract the people, and the migrant hopefuls will they will learn a lot about the migration process from these programs. Now let's talk about above the line marketing. First we have TV commercial and natok, and we have advertisement in local and national dailies. You know, here cinema is a key thing because the target people, they are attracted to the cinema house. So we will be choosing the interval period, and we will be positioning the TV ads here so that more and more people can watch this. These programs and campaigns will be sponsored by celebrities. And here is a specimen billboard featuring one of our national icons, Master P.
So to ensure that the recruiting agency don't victimize the migrants and to provide them with an incentive, we will have grading of recruiting agencies. So for this grading, we will associate with BIRA, which is Bangladesh Association for International Recruiting Agencies. And how will this grading occur? The primary source would be the feedback from the migrant workers. And so on this basis, the grading will take place in the portfolio of the recruiting agencies. Then we will have labor welfare officers at different embassies and high commissions and their consulates. What will the labor welfare officers do? Because there are already labor wings in different consulates and different high commissions. So the special work of these labor welfare officers will be to connect with the workers who are working outside the country through the database which is already available, which are provided by BNET, and they will ask about welfare to the employers, and they will also encourage the workers to contact with embassy. Now let's take a look at our campaign Gantt chart. So our campaign is mainly 4-year based Gantt chart. For this, we have decided that the first activation process and awareness will take place in the first part of a particular year, such as school campaigns, but alongside that, billboards, TVCs will occur frequently throughout the year. And one of the main campaigns is the Abhibashan Mela, which will occur at the end of the year. Then there is budget. So the main cost will be the Abhibashan Mela and activation campaign. And per year, we have thought that around 13 crore would be necessary to run this program. So we have devised our campaign so that we can maximize our potential and help the migrant workers. So for this, we have here an example how we can help our migrant workers.
first of all, thank you for being here. I think the opening was really good, and so well done. A quick bit of feedback on the presentation. I mean, a couple of rules. First of all, we can all read slides. Therefore, you should only put things start a conversation, and then the rest of the stuff should be something that you say. And the second one, the audience is always there, not there. So, but on the subject matter, there are quite a lot of different campaigns you're running, activation about the line and everything. But have you really thought about using the existing infrastructure the government has?
Yes, we are already using the existing infrastructure. For that, the government runs BMETs, Bureau of Manpower Employment Training, and through these they occur session pre-departure process, post-departure process. Our job is to make people know that these things exist and take them to there. And another thing is that every migrant cannot go to abroad without a smart card which is provided by BME. So in the smart card there is a 32 kilobyte memory chip which enables people to know about the database. So we are already using the infrastructure that is available.
Just a supplement question to that. What do you think the major challenge was for the case that was mentioned here? What was her major challenge? Is it getting that smart chip or getting to a place where she can get educated, trained up? Or was it for a person who's fairly from the village area? Is it just access to information, regular information, very much at their fingertips?
Sure. There are existing infrastructure here. When we were doing our researches, we thought of numerous things, but ultimately when we searched for it, it was already there. Then we thought that why aren't the people going through these processes? And the only answer we could find out their lack of information. So we try to take those informations towards them by running the campaign because it's already existing. Why not make them more available? Why not make them known of it? So we thought that if they know about it, they will go through this process and their journey will be hassle-free. That's why we gave this campaign.
So while going through the case, the underlying assumption is that people are actually facing some or the other kind of danger, right? So when they're in the Middle East or they're anywhere else, what happens is that they actually face some kind of under-evaluation or some kind of insecurity because they're not properly informed. So I was wondering, your distribution or how you promote it is done nicely. But I wonder the contents. I mean, if your audience isn't really tested and tried and shown that if you do not adhere to this kind of approach for migration, then you might face consequences. So have you focused on trying to show this particular agenda that people might be in ruins or in shambles if they don't follow it? So show the fear first and then show the opportunity.
So in our
So
campaign,
that
we have
flow of approach maybe will have some kind of focus.
So in our campaign, we have showed that we will be appointing returning migrants ambassadors. The returning migrants knows about the perils or the boundaries they face there. So we are going to appoint them to show them the difficulties they might face. I think they will also put some fear in them that if they don't go,
They'll act as your ambassadors.
yes, they are acting as an ambassador. We will also, they will be our paid ambassadors. So we will also be.
You make sure that all that you're doing, the dramas and natos, the jatra, whatever you're doing in activations, you make sure that your ambassadors will actually be there and
Yes,
present and tell their part of the story. So that
Yes,
people
sir.
are more aware and understand their perspective.
Yes.
Another question is, you had a timeline of 4 years, and that's really, I think, it's too long. I mean, it just won't hold water. Why have you thought of a campaign that's going to take 4 years to reach out to a small country like Bangladesh? And you've already shown some demographic segmentation of only 4 major areas.
Sir, those are the 4 major areas, but in the
Fine, but why 4 years?
Sir, in the last 10 years, about 80 lakh people have gone to work in different countries. So our target is that to make everybody know, everybody, and for that thing, we need to go at every component of our country. So for that particular thing, we need 4 years.
A campaign, even if it's a commercial campaign or even if it's a government campaign, first of all, you should have that kind of approach that it doesn't, the people don't lose interest. It has to be compact, it has to be precise, it has to hit home, and you have to have that kind of spread in the shortest possible time so that it impacts the overall audience size. Yes, you can never reach 100% of the population, but the rest will know about by word of mouth. You will try to reach, let's say, for example, a good 20-30% of the population, who will then act as your word of mouth, and then it will reach out. But your campaign, if it's 4 years, you might be overrunning out of your budget. People will lose interest, and it will not hold water. So I think that it should have been more compact. And about the financials, I'm also not sure that you've done the right kind of calculations as far as some cost heads are concerned.
So on the budget issues,
Is it a realistic budget, or is it just,
so it's a tentative budget, but we'd like to say that in last year, 2014, our migrant workers spotted $14.9 billion US. So I think we can at least invest in them $130 million so that for the betterment of them, so that more people goes and more people have safe stay and bring us more remittance.
No, I'm not commenting why you have so much budget. I'm saying, is it realistic or not? And on the other hand, you're saying 4 years. So I think that compactness and the realistic scenario of your budget should have been reflected here more often than not.
All right. So if I can just add on to Philip's question. First question is, can you go back to your slide where you're talking about factors contributing to migration? Yeah, it's the slide where you say financial, environmental, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So what's the source of the data? Did you run any sort of research or?
Yes, sir. It was done in the migration trend in Bangladesh, Nepal, and India. It was done by the Asian Foundation, and it was run by it was published in November 2013.
So we have the source here.
Migration trends patterns, Bangladesh, India, and Nepal.
First of all, very good ideas, especially curriculum, campaigning, rickshaw procession, Old-fashioned Mela, and all that. You came up with probably all options you could possibly have. What my question is around, the first question is hotline. You talked about 1971, use this as a. So what is the profile of the people are we looking at? Are they educated enough? Can we send there?
Sir, same research we have shown here, it said that about 11% of the people are completely illiterate. But the 89% are illiterate, and most of them are at above secondary level. And I think people in Bangladesh who are above secondary level can use at least not smartphones but normal phones. And this online information will not be about this apps type. It will just be if we go to this.
This is a USSD.
Yes, sir. It is a USSD number. So if I give 1, it will give us specific information, 2 a specific information, 3 a specific information. So I thought for 11% we are doing the rest. For the 89 rest, so why not this?
What is your source is basically secondary data because you don't have any primary research carried out. You're basing on a report which was carried out in 2013 and which says, what is the definition of the literacy here? You're saying literacy is able to send text, 89%.
No, sir. I thought the definition of illiteracy that they don't have any kind of prior education. And judging by the context Bangladesh is currently going on, everyone has a cell phone. So we thought if he is a secondary level learner or a graduate, he must have a cell phone. Based on that assumption, you came up with this.
Okay. So you talked about 13 crore, 4 years. What is the picture of success? Where do you see yourself 4 years from now?
At least, as sir have said, 100% success is not possible. We will primarily focus on the districts that produces most migrant, like Kumilla, and we are going to make sure that the 100% migrant of those areas go through the regular process. And by taking small steps, we think that we will be able to at least achieve 80 to 90% success, and that's based on our research.
So 80 to 90% success means what?
If if we conduct a survey in the airport of 100 migrant people, aspirant migrant people, at least 80 to 90% people will say, yes, I've gone through the training process that the government has set for us, and yes, we know the pre-departure, post-departure, and the process we are going to face there, and we are prepared for it. We believe that this campaign will make sure of that.
So now you have millions of institutions. You have Bangladesh Korea Technical Center. You've got national level IT education going on. So say I'm a maid. So which training will I take? Based on what information should I take when I'm going to Saudi Arabia? So which training will I take? Say I'm from Kumilla, for example.
So the job fair will make sure that the recruitment agencies gets the order of what kind of migrant worker they need. If they need maid, they will make sure that we need maid, and the migrant workers will be informed that we need maid. So you need to know all the works that a maid does. We don't need a construction worker. This is how we are going to make sure. And
through the government agency.
Through the government agency.
But only 4% I see.
No sir, through the government agency, through the campaign we are going to run, the Probation Mela, the Abashan Mela, because there is going to be a job fair in there.
So you're saying currently only 4% of the population uses the government agencies. The rating is 96% goes through Mama Chacha Khala.
Yes sir.
How do you stop that?
Yes sir.
How do you stop that?
How do we stop that? Sir, I think this campaign will do it, sir. I think information for everyone is the only success rate. If my Mama Chachas knows about the information, they will not direct me to a dalal. If I ask my friend, I want to be a migrant worker, where should I go? If this campaign runs successfully, he will say, okay, there is a number, *1971 hash. Go through there. There is recruiting agency there, and Abashan Mela is going to be held this time. Go through there, but not after our campaign. We believe that they will not direct us to any kind of rogue intermediaries.
There are EYSC, Union Information Service Centers, which is a part of access to information. So government frequently uses those sources to directly recruit migrant workers. So if there is they give some ad, and if there are some interested people, they go to those EYSCs and they get to know what are the necessary things they need to have under the papers, and they apply through the EYSCs. Our job is to let people know that EYSC exists, that this is a legal channel they can use.
Basically, I'm down to my last question, sir. I'm asking too many questions around it. In summary, you've been given 3 patch problem: understanding your stakeholder. Second is designing the right message for the right stakeholder. See, you have a very ambitious proposal, lots of options. Your main objective, if I understand correctly, is to make the information available so that they are aware in terms of what to make. So, if I was government and I'm A2I and I'm Ministry of Labor and Employment and so on and so forth, how would you convince me? Where is the plan of you engaging the government stakeholder, which is probably one of your biggest stakeholder? So, how do you convince them?
Migrant workers are.
Did you understand my question?
Yes, I understand your question. Why would government approve my campaigns? It's because migrant workers are one of the most powerful sources of remittance. If my campaign ensures that this remittance will grow by doubles, triples, and by quadruple, why won't government? They will see the profits in this campaign. Why won't they involve themselves in this kind of campaign? That's what they believe, sir.
I just want to, what do you mean the smart migrations?
Smart migrations means there will be no asymmetric information between the migrant workers in different areas. Everyone will have the same information about what they
It is clear that in our work, I'm in Spain, so smart migrations means you will go from here with low cost, will reach in the country, will get his good salary, and will come back. So smart migration is total 3 things. You have identified one problem very clearly, you have information, it's on very good. But the main problem in our migration sector is migration cost. Why this migration cost is low? Because his uncle or someone is giving him visa. If he get the good information, but he has nothing to do without going with his uncle, because his uncle is sending in the visa. So government is, you are telling that 8 million people have gone in the last 10 years, that's wrong information. From 1976 to last September, 9.5 million people have come. Not, it is 10 years. So our main problem is one, gap of information. Second, you have a suggestion paper. There is Rohima. She doesn't know what is fridge is, what is electricity is. So second problem is he or she has not proper training. So you all are busy with only getting information. You have to identify for smart migration how you are less the cost of migration. And number third is after going here to use his skill, how he get good salary. You have heard that why in this land there is an Indian is getting good salary rather than a Bangladeshi. So you are only whole campaign is only for information. It doesn't mean smart migration. The smart migration is a full things. You are only in the primary things. One point is okay, gap of information, but training, low cost, and after reaching there, how will they get good salary, or how they will get their loss, and how will they, if they are in danger, how will they be in contact with the embassies? You are not in. I think you are not aware of migration because it's a really big sector. So please be in mind in next